Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today we're going to be doing a Ragnaraika deck profile. So I'm really excited to do something for you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful deck that I've included all sorts of spicy tech cards in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check the Patreon in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name scratched in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 2 copies of Wicked Butterfly. Wicked Butterfly is definitely a 2 of in the build and has an awesome ability that you can discard this card to special summon an insect, plant, or reptile monster from your hand, helping you summon out more monsters to your side of the field so that you can basically go in for more link plays. This card also helps you draw cards during the end phase because if this card is banished from your hand or grave, you can draw cards during the end phase of this turn equal to the number of different monster types among the monsters you control that are insect, plant, or reptile, helping you draw up to 3 cards at the end phase, which is absolutely amazing to help you dig into the deck for more hand traps. We then play 3 copies of Evil Seed. Evil Seed is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck because you can special summon it from your hand by sending an insect, plant, or reptile monster from your hand to the graveyard, which is an awesome effect that this card is actually an extender. And this card also has the ability, if it's normal or special summoned, you can actually add to your hand up to 2 different Ragnaraika cards that are banished and or in your deck. Accept another copy of this card, then banish one of those cards from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for your tri-type, which is not that big of a deal because it does lock you into insect, plant, or reptile because it's pretty much always summoned in the deck anyways. We then play 2 copies of Samurai Beetle. Samurai Beetle is awesome in the deck as a 2-of because this card helps out so much because you can special summon this card in your hand by placing a banished insect, plant, or reptile monster on the bottom of your main deck, which your copy of Evil Seed sets up, making this one of the best targets to be able to use so that you can basically grab this card and one of your other cards, like your copy of your Armored Lizard, so that you can basically put Armored Lizard back on the bottom of the deck and then special summon out your copy of Samurai Beetle so that you can link summon it into one of your monsters. This card also has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard as a material for a Ragnaraika link monster, you can actually target a level 4 or lower insect, plant, or reptile monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position, which is a great effect to help you link climb. We then play a single copy of Armored Lizard. Armored Lizard is just a great name to be able to play in the deck, and I really like this card as a 1-of, but you only need a single copy. We then play 2 copies of Nunu. The Adotic package is just so good to be able to play in the deck and helps out so much at helping you link climb and also go in for some really cool plays. But this card has the ability, you can send this card from your hand to the grave to send a dark reptile monster from the deck to the graveyard. And if you control no monsters or all monsters you control are Adotic monsters, you can special summon this card from the grave but banish when it leaves the field. Also, you can't special summon monsters except reptile monsters when this card is on the field, but once it leaves the field, you can go in for anything that you want. This card is just amazing to be able to play in the deck and just a really good extender overall to get the exact card you need in the grave. We then play 3 copies of Noya. Noya is really good as a 3-of in the deck because this card has the ability you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to send a light reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if it's normal or special summon, you can add an Adotic spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is a really cool effect. So we have a lot of different cards we can actually search off this card's effect, like our copy of Water Lily or Daybreak. And Daybreak is amazing to be able to grab off this card because it helps you generate tokens so you can link climb into all your awesome monsters. We then play a single copy of the Adotic Light. Adotic Light is just a really good card to be able to use in the deck, and one of the best targets to be able to actually tribute off your copy of your Daybreak so you can generate a bunch of tokens on your side of the field. And if this card's in the grave, you can tribute a monster to special summon this card to your, and then your opponent can actually special summon a monster from their graveyard, but negate its effects. And if this card is special summoned, you can target a level 4 lower Adotic monster in the grave and special summon it back to your side of the field, which can be your copy of your Noya, so you can get your search, which is really nice to be able to do. We then play a single copy of Night Sword Serpent. Night Sword Serpent is just a good extender in the deck because if it's sent to the grave by a card effect, you can special summon it but banish when it leaves the field. We play a single copy of Serpentine Princess. Serpentine Princess is so good in the deck. If this face-up card is returned directly from the field back to your deck, you can actually special summon a level 3 or lower monster in the deck, which is just a good combo piece in the deck and very easy to actually do. We then play 3 copies of Lone Fire. Lone Fire is just really good to be able to use in the deck because this card has the ability to contribute it to be able to special summon out your copy of your Evil Seed directly from your deck to your side of the field, helping you get one of your monsters out on the field. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3 of the deck just to stop the opponent from touching the deck. And then we also play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is also really good in the build to basically stop your opponent's monster effects. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is definitely a 1 of the build just to stop your opponent's hand traps while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Adodic Daybreak. Daybreak is so good in the deck and generates you so many tokens on your side of the field to help you lane climb, as you can tribute a reptile monster, and for every 2 levels that tributed monster had on the field, you get to special summon an Adodic token to your side of the field, and also during your main phase, you can banish this card from the graveyard to target one of your banished reptile monsters and shuffle it in the deck. Then you can send a reptile monster from deck to the graveyard, which is just going to help you set up your plays. But this card is really good to be able to tribute your copy of the Adodic Light to generate a bunch of tokens on your side of the field, so you can link climb into the exact cards that you need. We then play 2 copies of Water Lily. Water Lily is basically like a Foolish Burial for the deck that lets you send a reptile monster in the deck to the grave. And if you have 5 or more reptile monsters with different names in the grave, you can special summon a reptile monster in the graveyard. Essentially, if you've resolved your copy of Snake Rain, this card is a Foolish Burial and a Monster Reborn. We then play 3 copies of Snake Rain. Snake Rain is one of the most powerful reptile cards in the entire game because this card lets you discard any card from your hand to send exactly 4 reptile monsters from your deck to the graveyard, which is absolutely broken to help you just fill up the graveyard with all your reptiles. We then play 3 copies of Ragnaraika Bloom. Bloom is so good in the deck as a 3 of because this card has the ability insect, plant, and reptile monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Also, all their monsters on the field lose 300 attack and defense. And during the main phase, you can actually activate one of these effects to add a Ragnaraika monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a card or special summon one of your Ragnaraika monsters that's in your hand grave or banishment in defense system, basically being an E-Telly, or basically a free special summon, and a Rhoda all at once, which is absolutely amazing, but you can only activate one of the 2 effects. Usually you're just using this card for the search, which is just amazing to be able to do. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Hunting Dance. Hunting Dance is amazing as a 1 of the build because you can search this card off your copy of Mantis Monk. And this has the ability to pop multiple cards on the field, which is just really nice because you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of different monster types among your tri-type and destroy them, which is just so cool to be able to pop up to 3 cards on the field. We then play a single copy of Planet Pollutant. Planet Pollutant is easy to be able to use in the deck and just shuts down your opponent because if this card resolves, you're probably just going to win, as you actually tribute an alien monster and destroy all face-up monsters with a counter or without a counters that your opponent controls until the end of the opponent's 3rd turn after this card's activation. You also place 1 a counter on each monster they summon, but it's just really easy to be able to use, especially with the Cosmic Slicer being able to grab it and your copy of your Shock Trooper being able to be an alien to tribute for this card's cost, which is just really easy to resolve. This card is amazing in the deck and just really good at basically just shutting your opponent down, just basically wiping their board, and it's just really powerful. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is really good to be able to play in the deck to basically just use this card to basically stop your opponent's monster effects and also shut down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with our main boss monster, Stag Sovereign. This card is so powerful and actually helps you pop 2 cards on the field. The monster is special summoned from your opponent's deck or extra deck, except during the damage step. You can destroy 2 monsters on the field, non-targeting, which is an amazing ability. And also, all of your Ragnaraika extra deck monsters actually share a common effect that if this card's in the graveyard, you can target an insect, plant, or reptile monster you control, place it on the bottom of the deck, and if you do special summon this card, also you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for your tri fire type, but it's really cool to be able to use your copy of Serpentine Princess on the field to be able to bounce it back into the deck and then use Serpentine Princess's effect to get you another monster out on your side of the field, which is just so cool to be able to do. And it's really easy to get multiple monsters on your side of the field with this card's effect, and all of them share that ability, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Chain Coals. Chain Coals is really good to be able to shut down your opponent, because if your opponent activates a monster effect, except during the damage step, you can actually activate this effect that neither player can activate the effects of monsters in the hand this turn, which is a really cool ability just to shut down your opponent. We then play a single copy of Selene Snapper, which is actually one of the new cards we got at Infinite Forbidden, and this card is really good to deal with your opponent's back row, because you can banish up to 2 monsters from your graveyard, and then target that many spells or traps your opponent controls and destroy them, which is a really cool ability. Then play a single copy of Mantis Monk. Mantis Monk helps you search out your trap, which is why I play this card in the deck as a 1-up. We then play 3 copies of Skeletal Soldier. Skeletal Soldier is by far the best Ragnaraika, as this card is just such a good extender, as it lets you target a Ragnaraika monster in your graveyard and special summon the defense position, which is just really cool to help you link climb into the exact cards that you need. We then play a single copy of the Link 4 Tree. This card is really good in the deck as a 1-of, because during the main phase quick effect, you can actually target an effect monster that your opponent controls and take damage equal to its attack, and if you did take damage, return it back to the hand, which is just great to be able to bounce cards off the field. Also, if this card's in the graveyard, you can banish 2 or more Link monsters in the graveyard whose combined Link rating equals exactly 4 and special summon this card, but banish when it leaves the field, just being able to bring itself back from the grave, which is really nice. We then play a single copy of the Cosmic Slicer. We play this in the deck so we can get to our Planet Pollutant, as this card has a really cool ability that basically, if this card is Link Summon, you can add 1 card from your deck to your hand that has an effect to place an A counter on it, which is just amazing to help you search your copy of Planet Pollutant. We then play a single copy of Alien Shock Trooper, because we need an alien in the deck so we can resolve our copy of our Planet Pollutant. We then play a single copy of Haggard Lizardos. Lizardos is just amazing in the deck, which is why I play this card as a 1-of. 1 copy of King of the Feral Limbs, because it searches our reptiles. 1 copy of the Rika Queen. Rika Queen is really good because if it's tributed, you can basically summon out your copy of your Sacred Tree Beast. Sacred Tree Beast is a walking negate, which is why I play this. And then finally, a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is the only non-insect plant or reptile we play in the entire deck that's not a hand trap. And this card is just really good overall because you can make it going second to basically just deal with your opponent's field. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Ragnaraika before, you should definitely give this deck a try, because it's so fun to be able to play, and it's just really, really awesome. I absolutely love this deck, and there's just so many cool combos with this particular build. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.